You're now listening to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Straightforward, no nonsense business advice. Completely unfiltered. Grow your business. Grow your life. Now, here's your host, Brian Fullerton.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. It is your host, Brian Fullerton, here hanging with you guys, and good morning. Well, we are going to be tackling a podcast guest interview here in just a quick second. Super pumped out about hearing from my man, Jorge Sanchez here, Texas Twins, all the way down in beautiful Texas. We're going to roll into that here in just a quick second. Before we do, the big mega announcement that I know so many of you guys are waiting for and anticipating. Launchpreneur Academy Live tickets 2024. They're going on sale tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern. I highly encourage you guys to put a quick reminder in your phone, whether you put it in the reminder tool or just on your calendar with an alert. Tickets are going to go live. They're going to be $249, and that is the early bird pricing until mid-September when it'll go up to $97. Just really quick, if you guys don't know, a couple years ago, we put together a live conference, and it was a Hail Mary. It was bringing in a couple of friends for speaking, bringing in about 100, 150 people there just to have a good time, to network. And it was just an extension of building community with folks that were following along on YouTube and the podcast. That's it. It wasn't anything super crazy. Of course, we talked business and tried to do our best to pay it forward. But it was just a scrimmage. It was a great time, and we were learning a whole bunch along the way, right? Fast forward a couple of years. It's our 6th year doing this thing, and we are really starting to catch our stride. The last year, there was about 400 people there. The year before, 350. Folks, we're bringing in some of the best in the industry that are just able to communicate and educate in such a way that's entertaining, fun, relatable, helpful, and can really help you guys go to the next level in your business. I don't want to over-promote it. I don't want to under-promote it. I'm just telling you, it's going to be one of the best things that we run and do all year. It's our big Super Bowl outside of Equip Expo. So if you guys are excited about coming on up to Novi, Michigan, November 2nd, it's a Saturday, all-day event, 8:30 to 5:30 p.m. We'd love to have you. All right, tickets are going on sale tonight, like I said, 7 p.m. Eastern. Friday night, we'll have a quick mixer for a couple of hours, a networking night. We're going to kind of drop it down a gear instead of doing games and activities and going all over the place. We're going to have fun with giveaways, food, networking, and that's going to be Friday night. That's one of the biggest things, more time to network. Saturday, the doors are going to open at 8 o'clock, registrations at 7:30, and the event kicks off at 8:30 a.m. All right, it's going to be a great time, 8:30 to 5:30 Saturday. And then, backed by popular demand and expanding, we've got the masterclass breakout sessions Sunday morning for an additional ticket and additional purchase. We've got 3 breakout sessions with Jeff Joyner, Mark Bradley, and Sam Gamble. I'm telling you guys, thickest thing you've ever been to, not this week, not this month, not this year, not at a lawn care conference, not at a conference. I'm talking about all leadership conferences you've ever been to. These are raw. These are authentic. These are take down the facade, take down all the show, and just be able to ask questions point blank, 3 hours, no recording, no video, just guys get in the network, iron sharpeneth iron. That's going to be Sunday morning, 8:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. 20 tickets per speaker. It's going to be totally separate, like I said, from the main event on Saturday. Last year, who was it? It was Corey Ballard and Sam Gamble. It sold out in like 30 minutes. Jeff Joyner sold out in a week. Okay, so think about the questions and the topics that you can ask a Mark Bradley, a Jeff Joyner, and a Sam Gamble in these one-on-one environments, folks. The tickets are going to go super, super quick. That's why I want you to set the reminder. If you want to go, check it out. You can buy an a la carte ticket for just the conference, or you can buy a group ticket, which gets you the conference plus that speaker for the breakout session and masterclass session on Sunday. We're going to feed you lunch. It's going to be a business casual environment. Once you get your ticket, you'll get the hotel registration. Last year, 50 hotel rooms went in about an hour. The whole thing sold out. This is a big deal thing. If you guys are new to the show, this is a big deal. This is our biggest thing that we do all year. Overflow Hotel, we'll have that for you guys the day or the week after, whenever the first hotel sells out. The other hotel is literally a quarter mile, half mile down the road. No big deal. But if you want to take advantage of the Hyatt Hotel that's attached to the Suburban Collection Showplace in Novi, Michigan, that's where you'll be able to literally just wake up, take a shower, go on down at 7:30 o'clock in the morning, and you're right there on site. Super convenient in that regard. All right, it's going to be a really, really good time. We've got Mark Bradley, Sam Gemble, Jeff Joyner, Ken Deemer, so many other great speakers coming on in. Postcard Mania, Brandon Bull, Cycle CPA. We've got Xmark, SureTrack, Boss Snowplow, and LMN as the sponsors. Folks, it is going to be a big deal thing, and we can't wait to see you up here in Novi, Michigan on November 2nd. Folks, I'm going to do a whole nother promo and break it all down for you on a whole nother podcast episode about the topics that we're going to be going into. But I'm telling you what, here's the last thing I'll say. There's more thought going into this conference than any other conference we've ever put together, bar none. We've got the roadmap. We've got the game plan. We're doing conference calls with all the speakers. We're talking big fish to make sure that we're giving you guys the best topics to help you guys grow. Okay, the last couple of years there's been some overlap with leadership or how to hire folks. We're gonna make sure that there's more content, more training, and more education than any other year prior because we're getting as organized and thoughtful and intentional as possible. I'm telling you what, we're not mailing this thing in. We're not dropping it down a gear. We're amping it up. We're turbocharging this thing, and we couldn't be more excited. Okay. I'm telling you, you're going to hear a lot about it. If you guys get a ticket, tag me on IG, hit up at Launchpreneur Academy, at Brian's Law Maintenance. Send us a DM, tag us. We'd love to share and repost. It's going to be a great time. We can't wait to see you guys there. All right. Last thing. A couple weekly wins. I want to give a shout out to Zach Wildy and Psalms Lawn Care. These guys had some great things going on. One guy, Brandon Bull, just built my website, just ready to launch. Can't wait to go to the next level. And then Zach Wildy, who just paid off a bunch of debt. He's also got some great landscape clients and did one of his biggest outdoor projects ever. Okay, so guys, thanks for sending me those weekly wins. There's a bunch more that came in. I just want to keep this podcast episode as short as possible and get to our guest, for crying out loud, Mr. Jorge Sanchez. But any which way, shout out to Zach, shout out to Psalms, and shout out to all of you guys that are out there making it happen. We can't do it without you. Thanks so much, guys. We love you. Let's get into our guest interview. Go to launchpreneuracademy.com/store to get your tickets for LAL, and we will see you guys there. That's November. All right, George, take it away.
Hey, what's going on, Brian? Good, man. Just trying to knock out the day and get some quotes going, some numbers flowing, and try to get home. Hopefully,
there you go.
For dinner. You know how it goes.
Yep. It's been a day here. We were pulling weeds literally all day. I had myself and then kid Bronson that works for me. Yesterday was, literally 8 hours of billing. We had a huge month of June. It's been a lot, though. I'm not gonna lie, man. So I'm right there with you. You said you had Starbucks, man. So grab a tall caramel frappuccino for me. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, dude. I just got my billing done yesterday, and same thing. I had to stop by, because I'm like, you know what? I got to get home and knock this out real quick. Or no, before I get home, because once you get home, kids want to play. Wife is talking, and then you're like, man, I don't want to be up till 2 a.m. again running billing, invoicing.
That's so true, man. For all of you guys that have a small business, like we're all in it together. So a lot of you guys just at end of month, or maybe you guys are still putting it off and stiff arming it for another day or two. Don't wait too long, don't want to be sending out end of month on July 5th for crying out loud. But
right, we got to get paid.
That's right. I need to get paid. We're flowing some big payroll, man. So I got to keep this machine moving, But
I hear you, dude. Yeah, I tell the wife, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna stop by Starbucks real quick for an hour. I got to run all this billing, and then I'll be home, yada, yada. And, she tries to crack jokes. Well, tell that girl I said, hey. And I'm like, okay, well, her name is Ice Caramel, and she's paying for your car and everything else.
That's funny, bro. I love it. All right, well, let's do this, man. We'll pivot. We'll talk shop because, dude, first off, thanks for circling back with me to get back in touch to get on the show. I know a lot of you guys reach out, during the season, and I'm busy, you're busy, and then calendars move. We've been trying to lock this down for a couple of weeks. So thanks seriously for your flexibility too. I know I called off, then you called off, and it's just the time of the year, So, yeah. So guest interviews, guys. If you have a great story to tell, shoot me an email. Be patient with me. I'm doing my best to get as many folks on, obviously during the busy season, but we're all hence busy, you know what I'm saying? So do my best. But let's take it from the top, man. You're Austin, Texas. So first off, it's got to be 100 degrees down there. I know it's got to be warm. How's things going for you guys this season?
Oh, dude, it is heating up. It's 105 right now. And guys are kicking butt, man. We're doing really good this year. And it feels like it's still fresh out of spring, like we're just off to the races and phone's ringing off the hook, and just everything's coming in, flowing. Your brother, man, shout out to your brother Adam, dude. He hooked us up on the website.
Nice.
And yeah, dude. So we've been getting killer freaking leads on that, and not necessarily. I haven't even signed up with the SEO and marketing stuff that he offers too. This has just been going off of word of mouth and reposting and stuff like that. But the website came out super awesome, man. Your brother and his team are freaking great.
I love that.
And just off of the work that we display, we're getting hammered, in a good way, right? We're getting flowing. The pipeline is flowing with work. The crews are running, and everything's looking good, man. I mean, we got so much work, I can't even keep up with new work, But yeah, we're blessed, man, and we're just trying to do good work and trying to get to everybody,
Love it, man. Love it, dude. That's what it's all about, dude. I'm glad to hear that. It can't be a Fullerton Unfiltered podcast without a product plug for something within 3 minutes or less. But
right.
Some of you guys are laughing in the truck right now. Some of y'all laughing too hard, man. I can hear you. I see you. But anyway, no. And Adam and Lauren, they are awesome. They're very passionate about what they're doing. And if you guys need a website or branding help, man, that's what they're all about.
Yes, sir, definitely.
Well, for folks that don't know your whole background and story, man, let me know about what your company's looking like today, and then give me like the 30, 60 second, and then we'll hear from today's show sponsors and announcements, and we'll come on back. But give me the 60 to 90 second. Where are you guys looking like today, so folks have a little bit more of your background?
Yes, sir. So yeah, just a quick elevator pitch, man. We are Texas Twins contractors out of Austin, Texas. We primarily started as a lawn care company, and now we're growing. We're doing everything from masonry, remodeling work, new construction, on top of the landscape work and hardscapes. So we got 2, 3. We're about to start up our 3rd crew right now, and 1 mow crew, and then the other 2 crews are new construction and doing all of our masonry work and all that good stuff. So yeah, man, we're kind of hitting every avenue right now. It's crazy. I mean, I feel like just yesterday I was push mowing, the little 21,
right?
And finally got into the RX marks, and then now it's like, holy crap, dude, we're doing a whole pool remodel for another builder. This is insane.
Wow, man, that's awesome. That's awesome. So you got a couple landscape crews more so before mowing, then it sounds like. Am I mistaken?
So when we first started, it was just me, right? I was just pretty much the truck in a truck superhero trying to conquer 20 lawns a day. And, so I'm knocking all that out. And then I hired another guy, and then I started, doing some contracting work. And then we got so busy that I had to hire that crew just full on.
Wow.
And then now they're doing all of our landscape projects. I'll go with the mow crews sometimes, and then I'll go back and help those guys. Cause, I don't want to say I'm a masonry person, but I like to put people that are good at that stuff and that they enjoy that stuff,
That's cool.
And to me, sometimes I'm better at talking with folks and mowing. I can't comb the concrete like these guys can, and they would rather do that than mow, So I'm like, okay, great. What do you love to do? I'll put you in that.
Man, that's good stuff. I'll tell you what, I have a whole new level of respect and appreciation for the mason guys, because obviously stoning or putting stone on, whatever you call it, masonry work on the house, the fireplaces to be, like, we're in the thick of it. Those guys are awesome. Actually, they just literally yesterday came back, real time, for real. Did all the capstones, is that what they call it, on the big pillars?
Mm-hmm. The decorative cap.
Yeah, I mean, it looks so good, so good. I mean, they we had 3 Hispanic guys out here, and they, first off, they were lifting these stones. I told Liz and I were watching them. They had to have been 80 to 100 pounds. I mean, 2 feet by 2.5 feet squares. I don't know.
Easily.
Yeah.
Like easily now.
These are some big boys that were lifting these up like 5-6 feet almost, overhead. And I was like, dang, like, how much does that even weigh? But anyway, shout out to all the masons. Shout out to all those guys that have skilled labor, skilled trade like that. I love it. Well, cool, man. Well, let's do this really quick. We got the macro. We do got to hear from today's show sponsors and announcements. We got to keep the lights on here. Some of you guys love the sponsors. Some of you guys hit tap, 30 second. I get it. It's fine. But you know what, guys? Take 10 seconds. Just remember the brands, okay? Whether it's Equipment Defender, Cujo, ISO Tunes, Ballard, you guys know all the great friends and partners on the show. If you need something in the future, Brian's 10. Check it out. We always got your back with saving 10% or more with all the different brands and companies we partner up with. We can be more thankful for their partnership. So let's do this really quick. George, hang tight with us. We're going to hear from today's show sponsors and announcements, and then we're going to come right on back.
Exmark mowers were born to deliver legendary reliability, signature cut quality, and stubborn durability that refuses to give in. Because, like you, Exmark mowers were built for this. And there's never been a better time to save big on Exmark mowers. So hurry into your local dealer.
All right, guys. Well, let's hop back on into it here. We've got the man of the hour, Mr. Jorge Sanchez. How we doing? You good, bro? How's that coffee? Is it kicking in yet?
Good, bro. I'm about to start up the next energy drink right here. V8 Energy Peach Mango, man.
You guys,
give it a shot.
You guys always pump me up when I do these guest interviews. I'm like, I come in, honestly, dude, I come in on fumes sometimes because we record these 4, 5, 6 p.m. in the evening after I get back and done with the day. And I'm like, hey, let's go, man. It's like round 2. You know, I'm about to do what you guys are doing, man, and work another 4 or 5 hours and hopefully spend some time with the family, though. You know how it goes. But anyway,
yes, sir.
So how long have you guys been in business? How long have you been doing all this down in Texas, man? You got 2 or 3 crews, it sounds like, moving and grooving. So how many guys and how long have you been doing this?
Yes, sir. So my mow crew is 4, and then I got my masonry hardscape crew, and that's another 4 guys. And then I have another crew that does like all of our woodworking, patios, decks, pergolas, all that good stuff. And that's just 2 guys, man. And I don't know how they do it, but it's like they can just, I don't know, curve the lumber, you know, they sing to it and that lumber cuts and does whatever they want it to do.
I love it.
It's kind of fascinating watching them work.
Wow.
But yeah, started, you know, like I said, trucking a truck, man, just, you know, the neighborhood lawn boy, and just push mowing every lawn, things like that, you know, and never really thought anything about it. You know, I was just like, oh, you know, got to mow, you know, Mrs., you know, Martha's lawn, you know, next door neighbor. And one day my dad was like, hey, you know, if you really want this new phone, yada, yada, you got to go. I don't know if you remember that Motorola Razr phone that came out.
Oh, yeah.
That was the first one. Yeah. That, you know, and I was like, I need that phone. And, you know, my pops, he was like, hey, if you come up with half of the money, you know, you can, I'll front you the other half and we'll get you the phone. And, you know, I kind of just did the numbers and I'm like, I just need 20 lawns. Yeah, I can do this. And, you know, on a weekend, Saturday, Sunday, went and got the phone, and I was like, Dad, I got $300. He's like, where did you get this money? Like, I was mowing lawns. He told me to go work for it.
Wow.
He's like, you did this mowing lawns? And I was like, yeah.
That's funny.
And
that's funny.
Dude, long story short, man, he ended up quitting his job and started a lawn company as well.
Oh, wow.
You know, but yeah, I mean, that's another story for another day, but yeah, he's still doing that. And he was a chef for 14 years, you know, and then now he's had his lawn company for 16 years now, I believe, something like that.
A separate business or same business or same name, or we're just totally different?
No, it's totally different, his own thing. I actually worked with him after high school, and, you know, we butted heads, and I wasn't really into the lawn stuff then. It was more like, you know, you're kind of just doing it for money because, you know, McDonald's and all that other Subway, that stuff didn't pay the bills.
Right.
And, you know, but then it's like, oh, man, this sucks. I'm going to go get an office job. And then I go get an office job. What I thought was, you know, the shit, right? Corporate America, suit and tie. I'm like, look at these little peons outside cutting lawns and stuff. And little did I know those peons were making more money than us. And
that's funny.
You know, that's when everything clicked. And I ended up starting my own deal, man. Just to backtrack a little bit before that, I became a firefighter. And I've been a firefighter for the past 6 years.
Oh, wow.
And I actually just quit 2 months ago to go full time into my landscape and just give it my all.
Wow.
So here we are 2 months into full time landscape owner. Yeah. So it's crazy, man. It's like I left the fire department, right? And it's like the floodgates just opened, you know. It's kind of like a blessing in disguise because I was already kind of, you know what, I got to either, I can't have 1 foot in, 1 foot out. You know, those hours, you know, you get a lot of time off, right? For example, we were 2 days on, 4 days off. So in those 4 days off, I was pretty much mowing every single day nonstop. between projects and kind of running crews and kind of calling shots. You know, I'm in the fire engine and I'm over here talking to clients and sending out invoices, and it's like, hey, we got a wreck and yada yada. And I was actually a lieutenant, so I was in charge of my crew. So I could just tell the crews, like, hey guys, this is a minor accident. Y'all go out there and just, you know, sweep up the debris. I don't really have to do anything. And I'm over here like, all right, let me send this quote out, you know, which is and probably not a good thing, but
wow.
You know, but that, if it wasn't a serious.
Well, that's the thing though. Like if you know, a lot of folks are always asking, well, when do I go full time, or when do I jump into it, or when do I put, 2 feet in, like you had said, and you'd be so surprised, guys, how much mental energy. And maybe you guys don't, but when you're in the thick of it, man, there's so much mental energy balancing and working two things. I know my wife and I even talk about it. You know, you get social media and lawn care, and Caleb Wallman talks about that. You got social media and lawn care, and they have 19 other ventures, you know, but it's a lot of mental that goes into it, you know. Let me ask you this real quick firefighter question. A lot of guys, LEO, law enforcement officers, PD, FD, whatever. A lot of guys have like good pay, like you said, a good schedule, potential pension, all that mess. What was your conversation with you, the wife, the family situation? Were you just like, hey, I'm only 4 years into this thing. I'm not here for the 20-year golden parachute. Like what was that conversation? Because when you get some of those union and government and civil, I guess, maybe whatever type jobs, there's always that pension, the coveted pension, you know, and I'm always like, hey man, I'm always like, hey, don't let 50 grand of your pension stay, you know, keep you away from a multi-million-dollar business. I see that a lot too. So go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly my thought, man. Cause I see everybody around me, right? And I'm like, you've been a firefighter for 15 years. And every day they would be like, whoa, 5 more years left to retirement.
Right.
And I'm just looking at them like, damn, that's going to be me. You know? And I mean, I don't know if that sounds good or bad, but I just, you know, what I thought was going to be my career, you know, cause I gave it my all to go to fire EMT school. You know, it's a year out of your life to kind of buckle down. And, you know, I had to move back home with my parents to figure out what I was going to do with my life. And I was at that little, you know, life crisis, or I don't want to say life crisis. There's people that don't even know what they're going to eat. And, anyway,
it's all relative. Yeah, I got you. we get you.
You know, and, you know, so I moved back home, do that deal. And then after like a year or two in, I'm like, man, this really isn't paying the bills like I thought it would, you know? So now I'm like, well, I got 4 days off. Let me go start mowing lawns. And like I said, I started doing my own thing now. And it was kind of like, I wasn't a full on LLC and all that good stuff just yet. It was a lot of it was just cash under the table type stuff, you know. Oh, hey, yeah, I can mow your lawn. You know, I only take cash though,
right,
and stuff like that. And then, you know, you hit a certain limit, and then after you want to go to the nice neighborhoods, those people require insurance. The first thing they ask you is for insurance, you know. And then it's like some people want to pay with credit card, you know. So then you got to have all your systems in place. And I was like, man, you know what? I just got to, you know, if I'm going to do this for real, let me just get the LLC and be a a full-on company and look legit. You know, people look you up, man. People that care about the service they're going to receive and they have a high-end home, they're not just going to hire whoever comes over. You know?
Right. And you got to play the part.
Yeah, exactly. What sets you apart? And so I went ahead and did that. And we became official in 2021, opened up the LLC and had that going. But by then I was already, you know, I already had over 70 clients.
That's awesome.
You know,
that's awesome.
The branding and, you know, all the logo stuff, all that good stuff, it kind of just added to what I already had going on because everybody already knew me. They just didn't know how to put the face to it. You know, they were just like, oh yeah, that's Jorge's cutting my lawn. And now they're like, oh wow, that's your company name now. That's awesome.
That's awesome.
And, you know, you kind of had to, you know, I started getting into commercial accounts, and that's when I really had to, you know, buckle down and get all my ducks in a row. And, you know, these guys pay you by ACH and you know, they're not just going to write you a personal check. You know what I mean?
Well, and so many folks I feel like miss that. They're like, well, I don't get the good sides or the big jobs. And I'm like, folks, I mean, if you don't look the part, folks are not going to trust you to show up on their house or on their site.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, like they've got wife and kids, you know, anybody who's got teenage kids or little kids. I mean, daughter. Like, we get contractors in and out every day here at the house for the last 14 months. And, we're nobody special. But if you don't think I'm not looking out the window every day going, who's that? I wonder who that is. New truck. Right. I'm going out there to meet them. Like, if you I don't know. Sometimes we're just like, well, I never get the good jobs. I never get blessed with the good stuff. And I'm like, dude, you have to. It's pay to play. You get the polo. Oh yeah. Tuck in the shirt. Wash the truck. I'm not saying you got to go get a $70,000 F-250, but just look the part, for crying out loud. And really. Yeah. Really, your work's going to speak for itself, and that's the number one thing you can do for referral work. Let me ask you this: we talk really heavily on the podcast and on YouTube about lawn care, landscaping. Talk to me a little bit about the mason work. How did you guys get into that? Or that seems more niche. Maybe describe it a little bit more too. What are you guys building out there? I mean, obviously bricks and stones and maybe hardscapes. I would imagine, but it seems like you guys have kind of niched and found a sweet spot there for your company.
Exactly. So, people call you for, hey, can you do a walkway? Can you do this? We want the masonry flower beds, right? We started really heavily on that stuff. And then people thought, oh, well, that's all they can do. And then one of my guys was like, hey, man, I can do a lot more than this, man. And I'm like, well, what can you do? And he's like, you name it. We can do masonry mailboxes, and we can do stucco on, around your house and stuff like that. And so we built this privacy fence stucco wall, and we put that picture up, and then it was just like insane. People started calling us. Those same clients that we did little flower beds for, they called me back. They said, "Holy crap, dude! I didn't know you were building stuff like that. I thought you only did gardens."
Wow.
And so then that guy was like, my company or my establishment, wherever they work at, they're like, hey, we want like a whole custom flagstone patio thing like that for our place of business, and we go over there, and I mean, it's like a $30,000 freaking walkway.
Wow.
And we knocked it out for them, and they were like, oh man, this is awesome, dude. I'll definitely keep you on the books for all of our masonry stuff, and then their clients that go visit them, they're like, hey, who did this walkway for you guys? Oh, Texas Twins, man, call them up. And then they look at our other previous work and they're like, holy crap. You guys can pretty much do it all on the masonry side. I mean, as basic as a little flower bed up into, stucco in your whole house, doing it all, brother, honestly.
How did you, if you don't mind me asking, how did you find the guys, and how did you figure out your pricing structure? Like, how did you know to price if you were just coming from lawns?
So I had to do some digging, man. I had to pivot. I hired I pretty much just went to a job site where these guys were doing like a grand slam of a job it was like a custom home, right? And I'm talking to the masonry guys, and I was like, hey, do y'all guys ever do stuff, on the weekends or something? And the lead guy that's in charge of the crew, he's like, yeah, man, we work with anybody. I'm not tied to this guy. He just calls us to do all his masonry work here. Wow. He's a custom builder. So I said, you know what, let me call you for my stuff, man. I always have stuff popping up, and I don't really know how that goes and stuff. So I started learning from how he prices it. And when I learned, he's charging me, I don't know, we'll just say $10 a square foot. I'm like, okay, well, maybe if I charge 15, then I can make a little bit for me, because my name's not tied into the whole, a lot of people don't understand, but whenever you bring in people that don't exactly work for you, your name is on that project.
Oh yeah.
If they do bad work, it's going to come back to me. They're not going to say, hey, Gus over there messed up my stonework. They're going to say Texas Twins screwed up and they suck.
Yeah. That's such a good, man, that could be a whole nother episode for on its own, because I get guys who are like, oh, I could just GC a bunch, like GC the house or GC a build or GC $100,000 landscape job, and I'm like, you sure could, but you better know what you're going into, because if, first off, you don't get the bid correct, and then you have to warranty or fix something, you could be out the whole job, on a $50,000 patio, $100,000 job. So I'm sure you've had some situations like that, or, whatever.
Dude, no, it's exactly. Speaking of, I've had to dig myself out of a hole because I dealt with bad contractors. They did a bad work. They did a bad project for me, and it turns out they were using another sub So it was kind of a joke because I'm like, hey, dude, I hired you to do this job, and then you hired somebody else to do it? What the heck? And he's like, oh, sorry, man, I got behind on work and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I don't know this guy, though, dude. And I thought you were going to do it. Yeah, so it was one of those things where, okay, dude, I can't work with you because if you're going to be pulling these little strings like that, you're going to get me caught up. And then my clients that I've had for a few years are going to be like, dude, what are you doing?
Right.
You screwed up my backyard. You know, so I had to pay for somebody else to come in there and fix that job just so my name, you know, my image could stay clean, right?
Well, well, not to interrupt you, but I totally agree, man. I've been there. Like I have a handful of subs, and they're great. I mean, great guys. Most everything we do is good on the level. But you guys heard me a couple weeks ago. Like we've ran into stupid problems too. You like, and we're my company's Mickey Mouse compared to what's out there in the big boy world. Like. Again, folks, you got to try. You got to go for it. The worst that can happen, something messes up, you owe somebody a couple bucks or you take a small L. Like, you know, just get your feet wet. You can't be afraid to take on the $25,000 HOA. You don't know irrigation. You don't know lighting. You don't know fertilizer. Sub it out. Find some friends and people that do. But you know, if that's the next phase, that's the next level of your company, like don't be afraid to go for it. I will tell you, not even 5 years ago, I took on an HOA, 30 grand account, and it freaked me out. I was like, this is like half of what my company did just the year before that. You know what I'm saying, folks? Like this is crazy. And if I didn't have one or two good friends encouraging me to go for it and dude, we got your back and I'll help out with whatever you need. I never would have went for it. And my God, how small I would have been playing, you know, for the rest of my life if I didn't go for it. And, you know, again, be smart, make calculated decisions, do due diligence, you know, like George is talking about here, but don't be afraid to expand services and to maybe take on some bigger jobs and partner up with some folks. I mean, you can do it. Any thoughts on that, George?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, dude. And exactly my thoughts, man. I know a lot of lawn guys that strictly, you know, solo guys and stuff like that. And that's all they do is lawns and that's it. You tell them, hey, can you stain my patio? No, I don't do that. Hey, can you install a fence? No, I don't do that. And I don't let nothing go. They ask me for a carport. I'm like, yeah, we'll take care of it. And I just call my guy that does all my carports and bam, he knocks it out. Oh my God, George, it looks amazing. Y'all rock. Thank you so much. Hey, neighborhood, call George for all your carports. And bam, you know, my guy's happy. The company makes a little bit of a nickel, and the customer, we rocked out. You know, they recommend us, reviews, all that good stuff, and then we just keep going. You know, and then if I have enough carports, I just hire him full time.
That's right. And, there you go.
You know, so you got to take the risk, man. I almost want to thank the fire department because when I was, you know, if I screwed up, I was back on shift the next day. So I didn't care like, oh man, I lost money today.
Right.
Oh, well, you know, I'm back on shift tomorrow. I got a steady check, yada, yada. And so, you know, when I realized, you know what, I do want to go full time one day, I have to get my systems down. I have to get my numbers down. And dude, shout out to you, man. I got your numbers calculator deal.
Sure.
And man, it was like my whole pricing. I was actually not too far off, but I was leaving some change on the table. And when I got that program that you have on your website, it just helped me understand my numbers that much better because, like you said, you know, we can't just be throwing darts up in the air because everything has to be dialed in. And if not, you will go out of business or you're going to take a big hit and eventually it's going to get you.
I appreciate that.
So I learned a lot. I learned a lot from you, brother.
I'm grateful and thankful, and I'm glad to hear that, man. There's a lot of folks that you guys are texting me, emailing me. Somebody was just signing up with Cycle CPA literally this morning, and he's like, I can't believe I'm this far in without a bookkeeper. And I'm like, dude, no shame, no shade. Who cares? Life goes on. We're growing. Money, you know, we'll get more right. I had another guy email me or text me or whatever on Instagram. He's like, oh man, your other episode after the third product plug of LMN, I was off. And I'm like, what a shame, bro. Like, no shade. He just gave me a hard time. But I was like, what a shame. Why would you turn off just because somebody's telling you to know your numbers better? And maybe telling you to evaluate other CRMs. And yeah, I've been talking about Element a lot, but at the same point, it's not a pitch for Element. It's a pitch to know your numbers. Like you're just talking about with the calculator. So I'm glad. Like folks, if I'm pitching it to you, it's not to make a buck. It's literally no point in any of this. Is it like that? I'm just telling you, I was leaving money on the table. If I'm leaving money on the table, Mr. Guru himself, then with all due respect, there's probably a good chance we're all leaving money on the table. Okay. Unless, like I said, there's 1 in 100 of us that are unicorn that are dialed in like a psychopath. I would imagine 99% of us didn't go to school for business or entrepreneurship, or really even have ever been provided how to price out lawn and landscaping work. And so, the calculator that George is referring to, you can get it at launchpreneuracademy.com. It's $100. It's basically a single overhead recovery business calculator. It'll completely help you out with figuring out your pricing and your man hour rate. And by the way, from there, then you go to Element. Okay, so that was if you're just using Yardbook or Jobber, start there. Okay, it's $100 one time. If you don't like it, email me and I will refund your $100. It's not a cash grab. Just for the love of God, like everybody else and their brother are trying to pitch and hawk you something, and when something genuine comes across your radar these days, you just turn it off because we're all so numb to marketing and advertising type stuff until something genuinely comes across to try to help you, and then you're like, oh no, I've heard it all, and I'm like, okay, bro, yep, everybody's just trying to get you, for crying out loud. We're trying to get you to have a bookkeeper, have Element, have a calculator, and a live event. Yep, we're trying to get you, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, so I digress.
Dude, yeah, I don't understand. Like, it's, you get what you put in, bro. I don't understand. People are like, oh, well, I don't want to pay this, I want to pay that. I'm like, dude, you just spent, $100 on Starbucks or whatever throughout the week. I'm like, you can't pay for your business. And, now that I'm full time into my business, dude, any opportunity that I see that elevates my business, I'm in.
Right.
Whatever it is, dude, I want to be more structured, right? I even purchased your contract deal because when I was trying to send off contracts and look legit, I was like, man, this kind of looks wonky. I don't know if I like this look. I said, you know what? Screw it. Brian has a contract template. Let me just buy it right now. And I sent that off, and bam, they were like, hey, this contract looks amazing.
It's $50.
Awesome. Okay, so
$50.
Dude, even if it was 100, I would have got it because that $100 just got me another, $50K account for the year.
Wow.
And because of how structured and professional it looks, and not just that, you saved me a lot of time and money from me having to, write one up out of thin air. And, time is money. I mean, people don't understand that. Yeah, you might save $50, but it took you $200 because you spent all day, every day trying to type this up.
Well,
it's
one thing I'll just chime in, bro. Like, if folks, you can literally order DoorDash. Dave's Chicken. Okay, shout out to Dave's Chicken, bro. Actually, I had some Dave Chicken last week. Have you ever had Dave's Chicken, George? By the way, it's this thing.
I haven't. They got like a Bush's Chicken down here and KFC.
I'm about to get some Dave's Chicken right now, bro. Like it was. I think the MSG is talking to me, but folks, you can't DoorDash Dave's Chicken to your place for less than $50. And then you're gonna go, man, there's a contract for it's just weird. Like we're fine spending $50 or $100 on shoes or Dave's Chicken, and then to then grow your
Jordan shoes, right?
Yeah, I get
$100 Jordan shoes.
$200.
Yeah.
You guys want
nowadays
some Travis Matthews shoes for $250 or $200, and then you're gonna go, man, a contract or a piece of equipment or a whatever. I'm like, folks, like you're just, and then you're just trying to promote stuff. I'm trying to promote you looking professional, bro, because on line 2, you email me and say, man, I can't get any good accounts. And I'm like, maybe because you're emailing Chicken Scratch and still texting commercial site management companies. There's a flow, bro. There's a flow.
Yep.
And I'm just, I don't have it all figured out, folks. I'm just trying to give you guys the game, though. Like when they say, George, don't hit the player, hit the game. I hate the game half the time, too, but you have to... It's just how it gets done, man. It's just how it gets done. But anyway, we can go forever, dude. For time's sake, actually, I gotta get running here myself. I gotta pivot here. I'm super glad to catch up with you here for the half hour we did. I know there's a lot more here that's to be desired from the conversation, bro. I have so many questions about getting customers, how you're finding these mason clients, the type of work you guys are doing. If you want, let's get like a fall season debrief, man, and let me know how 2024 went. We'll get you back on sometime this fall, winter, and if you're cool with coming on back for a part 2, round 2.
Yeah, no, definitely, brother. I mean, dude, shoot, last month actually just completely changed for me. We got connected with a builder, and we're in the process of getting over 30 homes from him.
Wow.
To do all the landscape on all these homes.
Yeah.
And we so far right now we've only done 3 of them, but each one of those takes about 30K of landscape work.
That's awesome.
And I'm pretty much taking like 5-6K out of each one, but we're in and out in 4 days.
Wow. Dude, that's $1 million bucks on the projection, dude, bro. That's huge.
Oh, dude, yeah. So right now he just sent me another one, and he's like, "Hey, go ahead and get a bid ready. We're ready to start next week." And I'm like, "Holy shit! I got to run to Starbucks and caffeine up,
sharpen the pencil."
This one's probably going to be 80K in landscape work, and so I got to have all my ducks in a row because it's one thing when you're reading plans. But then when you're out on the field measuring, some of those plans can be a little off, and you don't want to leave anything on the table. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Dude, we'll get the debrief. I'm excited about hearing more. And but dude, like at Corey Lanphier, like they do all the new construction installations as well. Like there's good money in that. I know a lot of guys are doing dirt work. Logan Manning, Earth Advocate, he's always cleaning up after those builders go through and doing the final grade. So, man, that's all. I love it. And by the way, the good old, where can people find you? I was going to say before we sign off, I don't want to lose you, but where can people find you? You guys on social media or Facebook or Instagram, all that mess?
Yeah. Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, all that good stuff. Texas Twins Contractors, and then our awesome website that Adam made, twincontractors.com. Dude, we're freaking locked, loaded, and dude, I'm excited for next week, man. Like I'm ready, right? I'm like, man, it's already Tuesday, Wednesday, like we're ready to rock, and man, I just want to say this, man, you get what you put in. If you're lazy, you're not gonna do much. People understand the drive, the hustle that another company has, and they're gonna go with them. Just like when I like getting my truck detailed, right? I'm gonna go to the guy that freaking badass and likes to do that, dude. I'm
pumped, man. I'm writing this down. You get what you put in and learn to pivot. Yes, that's the title, bro. That's the title of this bad boy. Because those are some. I have a round 2. I'm going to do a YouTube video. It'll probably drop Thursday on this exact topic, bro. It's funny. Sweet. You already. I was already going to do this video. Now that you did, I'm like, that's up for the video Thursday. So I look forward to that on Brian's Made his YouTube channel. But anyway, dude, thank you for the time, man. For real, thank you for the time. Hey, tell your wife. Hey, I was hanging out with Brian. Brian, who? Don't worry about it. Just thank you. Just tell her we said thank you. Thanks for giving us a half hour, 45 minutes of your time today, bro. Can't thank you enough. And again, just keep the hammer down, man. Wish you all the best. You guys fire me up when you guys get on the show, and it's always fun having a great guest interview like this, man. To keep the juices flowing, keep the energy going, man, during the week. So thank you, bro.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Brian. Thank you for everything that you're doing for the community and your podcast, man. You're literally dropping free dimes out here, man. People charge for the way you teach.
But you're too kind.
And you're just out here being you, man. And it's awesome, man, because we can all relate. And thank you for being you, man. Love what you guys are doing. Super happy that you guys are building your dream home, man. I'm hoping to do that soon.
Yeah.
And man, lawn care, bro. We're here.
Love it, bro. Well, thank you. All right, guys. Well, that's what we got for right now. We'll catch up with you guys here in a minute.
Exmark mowers are known for their signature cut quality, legendary dependability, and an operator experience unlike any other. Because if something's worth doing, it's worth doing right. Don't miss out on limited time savings going on now at your local dealer.
Before you turn off the podcast, there are 2 things that we believe you will be highly interested in. First, if you're looking to stay up to date with the latest trends and insights in the world of lawn care, then you'll want to subscribe to our free email newsletter. It shows up in your inbox 3 times a week and includes a Monday motivational to kick off your week, a Wednesday what's new to keep you informed, and a Friday weekly recap of all the content we put out. The second thing is we have just launched Lawntrepreneur Academy Link. Now you can be a part of an exclusive community that links you to those who can help you grow in your lawn care business. Joining Lawntrepreneur Link will give you the tools that you need to stay accountable, get real-time expert advice, and find belonging in a community of folks who are passionate about the lawn care industry just like you. Visit LawnTrepreneurAcademy.com to learn how Link membership gives you unique access to monthly hangouts, bidding hour calls, coaching calls, expert lessons, and more. Stay ahead of the curve and level up your business with a membership to the Lawntrepreneur Academy link. Find an easy-to-use link in the podcast description.
Thanks for taking the time to listen to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast with Brian Fullerton. We hope you enjoyed this production. If so, please consider leaving us a 5-star review for the show. While the techniques and ideas presented here are designed to help you grow a more successful and profitable business, no one can guarantee these results for you. We want to emphasize that entrepreneurship is not easy, and the ideas presented here are just the opinions of Brian Fullerton and his respective guests. No one can guarantee success for you. That being said, we hope the ideas presented here help you and motivate you to go on out there and crush it with your own business.
Fullerton Unfiltered Podcast.
Thanks for listening, and we hope to see you on the next episode.
This has been a Brian Fullerton and Mr. Producer production.